Yeah.
There we go.
Hey,
It still says
everybody.
scheduled. Okay, we're live. I'm your temporary host, Detroit Dom. I suck at StreamYard, but here we are. We've been live for 12 seconds. With me, I have fellow horseman, JJ Jenkins. From the great state of North Carolina, Will Vogel. Backstage is JB, if I can ever bring him on. You know what? I don't know. I blame my computer. Not my lack of StreamYard knowledge, but my computer.
Don't ask me.
No, we don't. Wow. You can ban someone from the studio instead of just kick them. That's step 2 for you, John Shearer, if you're watching. First you get kicked, then you get banned.
JB
It
was
seriously
there.
won't
And
add
then
him. Let's unmute him.
it's
Maybe that's
gotta
why.
be a
Because he was muted.
sensitive.
I don't understand what the problem is. You know what? Let's just start off while I try to add JB. Let's start off with our favorite segment of the week, Sports Morons. And I think if I can find the right thing to click, is it on the banner? There it is.
The banner's there. Yep.
I think our friend Tyler might have something to
Are
say
you
about
guys
that.
kidding me? Are you guys
The
kidding
video
me?
will play.
It is.
It's
This
playing.
is one of the most hilarious and fun episodes already today. Will, what's your moron?
Well, start us off.
My moron is the NBA for obvious reasons. The NBA only fined Sarver $10 million and gave him a 1-year suspension.
There he is.
Mine-
Sorry, JB. Welcome to the show.
What
With
up,
my-
baby?
What's
With
going
my
on?
rookie producing skills. Hey, glad to have you. How's your week?
Doing good. I'm over here in Iowa at the Iowa Cubs game right now.
Oh, that's right.
We had the special confidential tonight from Iowa. So,
Oh, wow, you're in the press box. Like you are a big deal, but even they think you're a big deal now.
see, listen. So we're out here. We just finished confidential about 2 minutes ago. So hopped on here. You were having all sorts of issues now, but we're live now.
Yes.
Yeah, all the clips and everything I did to start with, I was like, oh, guess what? It still says scheduled, so no one saw any of that except us. What do they call it? Cold
I
open?
think that would have been a fun. I think the fact that you're new to this is hilariously going to make this show amazing because people are going to help but laugh.
But no one saw any of the hilarity that ensued prior to. I was like, oh, guess what? That was all for nothing because we're still not live. But before we get off track, Will, Sports Moron, the NBA, tell me why.
They only suspended and fined Sarver $10 million. They gave him a 1-year suspension. I, along with probably countless others, think he should be forced to sell the team and ban him for life. He should have the same punishment that Donald Sterling had. It's inexcusable and disgusting. So NBA, big fat shame on you.
JJ.
I was going to go NBA too, but I'm going more extension to Adam Silver because you came in and your first big initiative was getting rid of Donald Sterling. And you banked your name on being that progressive guy to end systematic issues or behaviors that take place in the common NBA workplace. Then you have the idea of social and change amongst the world because you have your players actively having shirts, banners, everything. And then you kind of run and cower behind this situation. And you haven't even try to atone and own up to the fact that you agreed to.
What happened to the Cubs game? That had to be like a run-scoring single.
No, just a single.
Oh, wow, that sort of roar for a base hit.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what I got.
You
Adam
know,
Silver.
first hit of the game. Broke the no-hitter.
Oh, broke up the no-hitter. JB, give us your sports moron. I know you got one.
I'm going to go with the New York Mets. For doing what the New York Mets do. They got swept by the Cubs this week. Their lead in the NL East is dissipating. You know, it's like everything else. The Mets are just falling apart, and we all expected it.
Fair enough.
I thought the
I
Yankees
was supposed to. I was supposed to put us all solo screen for Sports Moron, but let's not pretend like I could do that transition smoothly.
It's okay. It's not a problem.
My sports moron is the Detroit Tigers, currently sitting at, I believe, 52-84. We have to go 500 just to avoid 100 losses. So cheers to you, Detroit Tigers, Alavila, and your 100-loss season.
I think we're at 100 with the National.
Oh, yeah. Then shout out to the Nationals for being the first team to be mathematically eliminated from postseason contention.
And you know the crazy thing is, I thought we had been eliminated. I don't know what that was about.
Player of the week.
They
Sorry
were
there wasn't a
eliminated.
poll, so I went homer on this. Your player of the week is Herman Moore, a 4-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time All-Pro. Bit of an injury-shortened career. He retired when he was like 33 or 34, only played a couple games in his last 2 seasons. His 123 catches in a season in 1995 was a then NFL record, since eclipsed by Marvin Harrison and one slant boy, Mike Thomas.
Anderson, our JP Perry Reynolds Jr. announcer. Thank you, Anderson.
Thank you for special guest, public announce guy at the Iowa Cubs game. Welcome to the show. Like and subscribe. JJ, tell me about Herman Moore.
And Stockbury Car Wash Clean.
Me?
Okay.
No, the other guy named JJ. Maybe the public announcer's name is JJ. Work on that and find out, JB. Bring him on. Herman Moore, go. JJ? Herman Moore?
Oh,
Cat got your tongue?
Okay, I'm waiting for it to speak. All right.
Just go.
Just talk over him. We're good at that.
Very true. Very true. I mean, Herman Moore was an excellent receiver. He was part of a group that I kind of contend to kind of refute people who say that Detroit didn't really have any other weapons besides Barry Sanders, because Herman Moore was quite productive for them. And he actually helped them win quite a few games with his ability to be able to possess the football as a possession receiver.
Ferocious downfield blocker.
He played at a time where he would get more recognized if he wasn't around 5 or 10 different other guys that were also better than him. There was a true group of guys that he could not surpass not because he wasn't great, they were just better. But he is a great receiver in his own right. And I enjoyed whenever time I played NFL all-time draft, trying to draft him. And I do remember playing with him on Madden or just watching him play.
Hang on, guys. You want to watch everyone run for the exits with the rain delay?
Oh, no. More rain?
But look at them running for the exits.
Are they coming out with the tarp?
Yeah. I know. There's the tarp. There's the players.
Oh, someone was on the field just sprinting. JJ, anything else? Herman Moore?
Y'all take it away.
Will Herman Moore?
So what I found out is he's third all time in receptions at Virginia, and one sec, second in career receiving yards in a season at Virginia.
Who's number one? I bet you don't know. I think it might be fellow former Lions receiver Jermaine Pegleg Crowell, because he also went to Virginia.
Or I'm reading my notes wrong. I made a mess of my notes.
Can't read your own writing? Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on me, for real. I can read this stat, though. He holds the NFL record for receiving yards and receptions on Thursday games.
Really?
Thursday game.
What, Dom?
I was talking smack with my microphone muted to my friend that's here. If you want to know what I said, I'll be like, I want to host every week. I could just talk smack and no one could say anything 'cause I'm hosting. JB, tell me about Herman Moore.
Hang on. So, yeah, the most receiving yards on Thursdays. That's not good.
And receptions.
Nobody ever plays on Thursdays, and it's a shame because Herman Moore was one of the better receivers in the league when he played. As a guy who got to watch him many times, I enjoyed him. He was just a workhorse. You know, he wasn't the flashiest, he wasn't the quickest, but he just did things, and you knew he was going to do well. He was going to catch a lot of passes. He was going to score, and if he was on a different team, because the Lions, for whatever reason, just couldn't do well, he would have won. Because he was a great teammate from what you saw. He was a guy you wanted on your team. It wasn't like he didn't talk a lot. Wasn't a smack talker, but caught a lot of balls. Always wherever the ball was, you saw him. You know, like Dom said, his career was cut kind of short. Not that he had major injuries, but just lots of injuries, and but he was just a fun guy to watch.
Yep.
100%. Okay, moving on. A segment suggested by fellow horseman Jay Nelson. Gauntlet Grinders of the Week. Will, give me your top performer from the AFC and the NFC in Week 1.
So with the NFC, I've got to give credit to shout out to JB right here and Jake
How are
Mallett.
you going to steal? How are you going to talk about Saquon and not let JB's been waiting to talk about Saquon for 5 years? But go
Okay,
ahead.
never mind then. I'll go to another guy. I've got AJ Brown. What a first game for
Man, we could not cover him.
what a game for him. He had an amazing game for the Eagles, and he proves he can be a really good weapon along with Devontae Smith on that team. And look out, NFC East, because that Eagles
you mean the Devontae Smith that had 0 catches Week 1? That Devontae Smith? Shout out to you, Jeff Okuda. You did your thing. Keep going, Will. Sorry.
You're good. And then I've got to go with the AFC. You got to go Patrick Mahomes not throwing an interception and just making the Cardinals look silly. So Patrick Mahomes and AJ Brown are my 2 guys.
JJ?
I'm going to stay to it in the NFC North, and I'm going to go Justin Jefferson over at Minnesota. Picked up right where he left off last year. Had 9 catches for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he's really making the case to say, is he the best LSU receiver to come out in the last 3 years in terms of their guys? Because he picked up where he left off. He's now the guy that everybody says is the go-to guy. Adam Thielen's still there, but everybody knows it starts with him. And he was going up against a very good Packers defense, and particularly prized themselves on in the secondary. Now, on the AFC, Mahomes is the easy go for sure. He is the one that had 5 touchdowns, made it look easy, didn't have any issues, kept going. It just was like nothing mattered with Tyreek Hill gone. But I do want to recognize a grinder in Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. I think, the way he came out that first game, those 2 interceptions are going to be held against him. But if you watch it, you can clearly know that if those 2 interceptions could have gone as called touchdowns or first downs, he really showed some guts there. And it really is if those 2 have cemented themselves as the top 2 guys, in my opinion, for the MVP. And those are my 2 gauntlet grinders, Mr. Josh Allen and Justin Jefferson.
Okay. JB. Gauntlet Grinders. Go.
So, definitely Josh Allen. I mean, dude destroyed the Super Bowl champions. He might have thrown 2 picks, but they were irrelevant as far as the game score. He could have just kept going, and they stopped after a while because they just, the game was a blowout. He totally destroyed them the whole game. So you can't really go anywhere else besides for that. NFC, definitely Saquon. Saquon went off. If he stays healthy, that's what Saquon Barkley should look like. The problem is he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So
that field.
One game isn't just doing it for me. We'll see how that looks at the end of the season.
You guys should just not. You should not start him in home games. I bet you he could play 9 road games and not get hurt. But that field terrifies me. I hate that the Lions have to play there twice this year, and we're already all banged up. But yeah, go ahead, Will.
No, I'm just watching a football game. I'll just tell you guys later.
Okay, I'll go real quick. AFC, it's Nick Chubb, 22 carries, 141 yards, good for 6.4 per carry. Furthering the distance between him and whoever the next guy is in yards per carry of all current active running backs. AFC, in an upset, no one other than maybe the man himself. I'm going Eugene Cyril Smith the third, also known to you peasants as Geno Smith. 23 of 28, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, in a huge win over former teammate, now Denver Bronco, Russell Wilson. I'm going to double down on what I said about the Broncos in our preseason picks. Broncos are finishing in last place. Sorry, Russell Wilson. Sorry, Broncos. Okay, what's next? The Cowboys. I would never applaud the injury of another man, but Dak out 6 to 8 weeks with that hand injury. There's been rumors, whispers about them trying to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see it happening. He restructured and kept that money. Plus Trey Lance on a very short leash. But, I mean, besides the obvious, Will, how does this alter your prediction of what happens with the Cowboys this year? Like, okay, he's out. Let's say he's out 8 weeks. How many games can they win in those 8 weeks?
I don't know who they play, actually. Well, I know they're playing the Bengals on Sunday, so they're definitely going to lose. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. I had the Eagles winning the division. I did have the Cowboys in second. They need to get a quarterback, whether it's free agency or
Oh, wow.
via trade.
Are you poo-pooing Cooper Rush?
Yes, I'm poo-pooing Cooper Rush. Even though that is
I wouldn't
a pretty
expect anything
cool
less.
name. That is a pretty cool name. So who do they play, Dom? Give me the schedule. I'll let you know.
You got Bengals this week.
Loss.
At JB's Giants in week 3.
Loss.
At home against the Foreskins week 4. At the Rams, at the Eagles, home against the Lions, home against Chicago, and then a week 9 bye. So I'm assuming they're hoping Dak is back for week 10
Give me
at Green Bay.
Give me 3 or 4 wins. 3 maybe 2. 2 to 3 wins. Nothing major. But yes, this definitely hurts them, and it just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all.
JJ, Dak injury, thoughts?
Couldn't have come at a worse time. You know, Dak is trying to prove something here. It's not looking good in Dallas, and you already have, with less than, I would say, a week after the injury, Jerry Jones is asking a play star wide receiver, his possible superstar wide receiver, him to step up, because I think they know if Cooper Rush coming in, QB Lamar is pretty much the primary target you're going to have to stop in the passing game, and so he's going to have to fight through some double teams. Dak, I wish him the best. I don't think they're going to. They have to win 4 of the next 8 games if they want a chance for the NFC East, because I think Philly's going to be one of those teams that you will have to probably win like 11 games, maybe 12. But just really sad to see that. It's just, you know, because he's trying so hard, and it's going to be tough. You ain't got much options out there. You don't have much to really choose from, so it's going to be tough over in Fort Worth area, Dallas, Texas.
JB.
Listen, it's ugly. It's bad. I don't think.
Do your Giants finish with more wins than the Cowboys based on 7 or 8 weeks with no Dak?
Without a doubt. They haven't figured out to handle the Zeke. I mean, you have the guy who can carry your offense, and you don't hand him the ball enough times a game. They've been doing this for years, at least the last 2 years. Give the ball to Zeke, and then Dak will be able to throw for more yards. And Dak's not there right now, so because he's hurt, so they have to feed Zeke. And he's not going to be able to do it by himself. But when Dak comes back, they'll be all right. But they're going to finish 3rd this year because of this injury. It's going to be all the Giants. in second. And the
You think
Eagles will run away
Washington
with
finished
it.
last, or y'all? Washington?
Washington.
I don't think Washington is a very good team, personally.
No, they're really not. And they have
No,
think-
Wentz.
Scary
I think
Terry is the only
they have
black
some
man.
talent, but they also have Carson Wentz, and it's also
Yeah.
Washington. You know what else they don't have? A nice stadium.
Very true.
No.
That place, I'm sorry, it's a dump.
Yes.
Okay, something I know JJ is looking very forward to talking about. Just kidding, but you're still going to lead off. Lamar Jackson turned down $250 million. That's $250 million with a B, $250 million, and apparently he wants a fully guaranteed deal. JJ?
Hey, listen, I have no problem with this whole contract situation. I have no problem with him trying to go out for the best because what I firmly believe in, and we talk about the team aspect of it, about not making a huge dent in the team's future plans for playing other players. If you have that guy you believe is that quarterback to help you get over the top, you also believe that if you bank on giving him that money, he's going to be able to make it work with the players that you bring in and fire the ones that you can't keep. And I firmly believe a great GM is not worried about who comes and goes because he believes in his ability to scout and he believes in his ability to draft and develop players. At the end of the day, I don't really care to talk about this anymore because at the end of the day, he said it after week one. What's done is done. If he wants 274, 300, anything like that, the Ravens have known to pay a player if they can bring a Super Bowl title, whether you think they're worth it or not. And I firmly think he can win a couple Super Bowls. So if he wants it, I'm okay with it because I believe
So
in the team.
you're okay with the deal regardless of what it is?
Yeah, I don't because I believe in my team's ability to be able to draft and develop players. I'm not at the contract because he deserves it if he was able to deliver and get a Super Bowl, which is what he promised.
Right. I mean, you guys know I'm not a big Lamar Jackson fan, but I like that he's betting on himself. He's tabled it and he said, let's see what I can do and then we'll talk. Will, thoughts?
Hold on, one thing I will say is
Can I point a note real quick? Are they playing Here Comes the Rain again?
Yes. Yes, they are.
That's perfect.
I will say this: the one thing I do say that's probably the most frustrating, most hilariously frustrating thing about this whole contract situation is that every person I've seen kind of weigh in, fans or anything like that, they think it's the worst situation ever because the deal hasn't been agreed upon. Because you think that, oh my gosh, your team is not respecting you, whatever. But if you ask anyone from Lamar's camp and anyone from the Ravens camp, they all say the same thing. There's no animosity. They're not worried about the deal. But it shows us that fans are always looking for the worst to be able to have something to talk about. When if you actually listen to the situation, you would know that it's not as big of a deal that he did the contract this moment as people want to think it is.
I think he's smart to table it. Less distractions.
I'll go real quick. I agree with both what you both said. It speaks of the character of Lamar on betting on himself. I love when players bet on themselves, like what Aaron Judge is doing for the Yankees. He's betting on himself, and it's great. And it shows that if you put in the hard work and the dedication, and you bet on yourself, and you perform great, like Lamar is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you prove why you've won an MVP, why you can be an MVP candidate, why you can lead your team.
Did you just call him a running back?
No.
Oh,
No.
I might have heard wrong.
No, I would never call him that.
You heard wrong.
But as I was saying, I love when guys bet on themselves and they perform great, like Aaron Judge is, like Lamar is, and credit to him. And he deserves a lot of money.
JB, thoughts on the Lamar Jackson contract situation or lack thereof?
I think we needed something to talk about. He's still under contract. If he's not unhappy that he's still under contract, why is anybody else worried about it? He knows what he wants. His agent knows what he wants. The Ravens know what he wants. It's up to both of them to decide. So right now, it's not an issue. He's playing. It's not like he's sitting out. It's really it's a non-issue story. It doesn't make a difference to anybody. And I don't blame him. He doesn't want to talk about it while he's playing. He wants to play the season without worrying about it. So I can't blame him.
Did any of you guys happen to see, and who knows if it's true or not, but allegedly it was his Lamar Jackson's short wish list of teams he would like to go to if he leaves Baltimore?
No.
Detroit was on. I saw the list. It was like 4 teams. I can't remember who was on it. They all made sense. Detroit was one of them, and I kind of cringed. And then I'm like, I always have wanted a mobile quarterback. He's still young. Like, I would take Lamar Jackson. Here, tell you what. Let's make the trade right now. You can have Jared Goff.
I don't even think it should anything something you should cringe about.
Have that extra pick from the Rams.
But I think at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you can think what you want to think about the dude, but I think the number one point remains: if he's on your team does get better. And whether you want to admit it or not, he has shown to be able to be a better quarterback than some of these players that are quick to be elevated because they kind of make the same mistakes he has in his career. But it just shows you one critiques one because they don't like him. The other one kind of gives somebody a pass because they thought he was cool. Yeah, Justin Herbert had guts and Justin Herbert did his thing. But was that interception something that was a smart play? Or was that interception something that you should have known better to wait off?
If I knew how to mute you, I would. This is a Justin Herbert free zone.
Yeah, I like Herbert a lot.
No,
I like him
too.
Go make the playoffs.
I like Herbert too, but I bring it full circle. And at the end of the day, it's like just because you
Lamar Jackson has accomplished some things.
Oh yeah.
Lamar Jackson deserves his flowers. You know who else does? Matt Stafford.
You know what? Real quick, I don't know if I told you guys. I actually got.
Why are we going to bring up Matt Stafford? Why are we going to go there?
Just because I wanted to hear you sigh and see the look on your face. That's the only reason.
I just wanted to say
Listen,
real quick. I don't know if I told you guys this.
After we won the Super Bowl, I gave him his due.
You did not. You still didn't. That was the most backhanded bouquet I've ever seen.
I said I was shocked that it only took him 7 plays to get into the end zone from the 3-yard line, and
exactly.
Helped him.
You still want to pick him apart. Why do you hate that man? Just wrap your arms around him, give him a hug.
Listen, good for him. He got a Super Bowl ring. I'm glad for him.
So, I was going to say, I don't know if I told you guys, but I did get to see Lamar play in college.
Oh, yeah? Were you at that game when he punched the concrete wall at halftime and broke bones in his fingers? No, that was after the game. I'm sorry.
I went to the Clemson-Louisville game where Louisville was this short of a first down.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was a great game.
Great game to go to.
Let me...
That was his Heisman year, right?
That was, yes.
Because that was a game where they wanted to see him and Deshaun basically showed up and showed out.
And all I remember is yelling at a Louisville fan saying, "You are a basketball school, not a football school, idiot."
Who?
I can't find it.
Louisville. I have respect for Lamar. The family.
The nerve of you. The nerve of you, Will.
Okay.
Hey, I don't like Louisville sports.
We're almost at the halfway point. Assuming this works when I click it, here's a word from Kevin Harlan and our sponsor.
Saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed.
That was supposed to be 30 seconds long. It was 2 seconds. But thank you, Kevin Harlan. Thank you for that brief tidbit about Fanatics. You wouldn't know it because it never got that far. Okay. This is great. It's like the whole world is at my fingertips, and I don't know what to do. Just no idea whatsoever. Okay. I don't have a banner for it, but what did you guys think about? Let's take a quick straw poll. How many game minutes did it take for your Amazon Live feed to finally catch up to high def? I'll go first. 2.5 quarters. Did you watch the game, Joe? JB? Will?
I don't know.
I didn't pay attention. It was always good for me when I watched it.
I heard a lot of that too, but then Carrie said that her audio and her video weren't synced up. So like the video was behind, so she's hearing the play-by-play, like almost an entire play before the play.
I'm going to be the one that says I'm not ordering Amazon Prime just to watch bad Thursday Night Football.
That's what a lot of people said. Like, I'm not paying $15 a month. Overall, I would say Prime is worth it, but if you go and look at the slate of games on Thursdays, the one this past Thursday was far and away the best game. There's a lot of clunkers, and there typically is on Thursdays. Like, we've kind of been spoiled the last couple years, but it's not. Max Kellerman actually had a way to fix Thursday Night Football permanently. You make the entire season just division matchups, and then you give teams a bye the week before, or I'm sorry, the week after, or before and after. Ideally.
What? You saying he does the entire season as just divisional matchups?
Yeah, because at least then.
That's crap. That's BS.
That's stupid.
So crap.
Well, it would suck when they had to show an AFC South game.
That is so crap because you'll never be able to actually rank opponents because you're only facing their.
But look at the rest of the slate and tell me that's a considerably better slate of games.
I don't have an issue with the Thursday games because at the end of the day, what may look bad, these teams could get good and it turns into a good game.
There's been a lot. There's been better games than
Basis, that's
like
the
who.
Of NFL, hold on, but that's the basis of the NFL schedule because there have been some clunkers on Sunday night that when the season started looked like bomb.com games.
Oh, sure.
That's why they flex out. So at the end of the day, I'm not tripping.
But I'm not.
It could be worse.
I'm not going to pay extra for Amazon for that.
No, I agree.
And that's the thing.
Hold on. In terms of the Amazon Prime thing, I think it's utterly ridiculous that you have to do that. I was not about to create an Amazon Prime account just to watch this particular game. I'd take the chance of being a play late.
Well, and the thing is, hopefully the FCC doesn't catch this and end our show. But there's crack streams out there. Like you don't really have to watch it on Amazon. The thing I think Amazon didn't understand was, first of all, Jeff Bezos has more money than God. That's one. Second thing is, they paid, I believe I read it right, billion with a B. They paid $11 billion for the rights to those 15, 16 games on Thursday. What they don't realize, which is exactly what JB said, they're not going to see a whole bunch more people getting Amazon Prime subscriptions just for football. And that's why, I watched it, but it wasn't on my account. I had Amazon Prime for the first 2 years. How often did I order stuff on Amazon? Never. I literally got it just so I could watch Sopranos or Oz or 6 Feet Under whenever I wanted to.
Okay.
I only got.
If they got the Sunday ticket, it'd be a different story.
You know what? I had that free for a year, and unless you're, if I lived somewhere out of state, I guess I would have to go get it. Honestly, I would probably just go to a bar and watch the games. I had it free for a year, and more often than not, for one, at 1 o'clock. Unless the Lions are on a bye or unless they're getting killed, I'm watching the game in my home market. And then it would get to the 4 o'clock games. And more often than not, the 1 or 2 games that were on regular broadcast TV, it's like you flip through the ticket and it's like, no, I don't want to watch the Jaguars and the Colts or the Dolphins and the Jets.
They killed 4 o'clock football because they play only 3 or 4 games when you get towards the third week of the season. And you normally get 2. Even in New York, we're getting 2 games most times. So
right, we get 1, and then the PBR tractor pull.
Yeah, it's like you're killing the market. I don't know. The NFL scheduling's been weird.
It could be worse. At least we're not getting up at 9:30 in the morning to watch the Jaguars play. Soon to be the London Jaguars.
Yep.
The owners from England. Just saying. They already have the Jags play 2-3 games per year there already?
They're there every year.
Like, God forbid if you were one of us and you ended up moving to England.
Hey, leave me alone.
Great Britain does not give an F about American football. They don't.
Actually,
and the people that try to say otherwise, they're like, oh, look, the stadium's sold out. Yeah, you know who's in that stadium? Tourists from the U.S. that are there. Like, if I was in Great Britain for a week and there was a game, I would go. Who amongst us wouldn't?
Dom,
Even if it
think
was
that they're
even if it
selling-
was the Jaguars and the Falcons, I would still go.
You
Dom,
think
let
they're
me say
selling enough
something. There
seats
are
off of
some
tourists?
casual NFL fans in Europe.
There's none. What were you saying, JB?
Do you think there's enough U.S. people on vacation in England for that day to see a game to sell out a stadium?
Yeah, the other 20 or
No.
30,000. Like, yes, because you got to like there's people in England that will go to an NFL game because just because. There's a handful more, 7 or 8 that are somehow actually American football fans.
But why?
Then there's transplants. People. Hang on. There's transplants. People from the U.S.
I understand where JB's coming from. Why would I go overseas just to come watch an American game where I could do it at home?
I would go if I was there, and it was
the
a game
only-
I wanted to see.
The only game I'd consider going would be the Packers-Giants, and that, to me, would be absurd. The Giants aren't even in the same class as the Packers yet. It's not a good matchup.
So what's our next topic, Dom?
I'm pretty sure the Giants have a win, do they not? The Packers don't. So I would say it's a new season right now. The Giants are in a class just a little bit above the Packers. It's all about your record. It's wins and losses. Aaron Rodgers, who?
A 1 week grant of amazing. Well, never know.
Next topic, week 2 preview. Let's go down the whole slate because we got a fair amount of time. I'm not going to lie, there's not a lot of good games this week. There's
Just go through and we'll give our picks.
Wait, maybe there's more than I thought. Okay. There is actually 3 games between unbeaten teams. Bucks and Saints. Thoughts? Bucks and Saints? Bucks, Saints, who you got and why? JJ?
I'll take the lead off. Your classic division game and the team that Tom Brady had in the regular season at their home, but I think, or at that time, all this time, I think it's going to be Tom Brady gets his victory. Because if you see what you've seen from Leonard Fournette against those Dallas Cowboys front 7.
You see that block he put on that guy?
Indeed. And so at the end of the day, Leonard Fournette can get that same effect because you're going to have to run it on New Orleans to try to have success because their secondary is very good. I think that could happen with Leonard Fournette in this Tampa Bay offense. And I think you're going to see Tampa win 24-17.
Okay.
So I think that Tom Brady gets his against the Saints finally. I agree with JJ. Leonard Fournette played like a madman against the Cowboys. I don't like either team because they're both in my division, but I like Tom Brady a lot better than the Saints in a whole. But
no love for Jameis Winston.
No, I'm a Clemson fan. He went to Florida State.
Okay, that's fair.
So
plus he's Jameis Winston.
He just sunned you.
Can I continue? Can I continue, please? Please. Anyway, it's going to be a close one. The Saints always play good against Tom Brady. Give me, 20-17 Buccaneers.
Mr. Ellis?
Buccaneers win this one. Right now, they're the better team. Is
that the Lassie music?
The defense. This is just Walking in the Rain. I've never heard this before.
I keep hearing the Lassie music with the whistling. You know what I'm talking about.
Let him talk.
You're getting Will a little annoyed here. You better be careful.
I can have your attention for just a moment.
Hang on 1 second. There's announcements.
Sitting at the home plate club seats, you could report to the JP Party Rental Fan Service Center. We'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Did they say JD?
No, JP. I thought that too. I was like, man, he shows up in town for 1 weekend. They got him on the PA.
So they're, I think the Bucs will just end up winning this. It's going to be a close game. The Saints' defense is better. We're curious to see how Michael Thomas does this week. Came last week, had a decent week. if he can get back to the player he used to be, he could be dangerous. So that'll be interesting.
I guess I'll be on my own island here when I pick the Bucks. I'm sorry, the Saints. For one, Tom Brady has a terrible record against the Saints in his career. To JB's point, the Saints defense is better. And has anyone noticed how completely atrocious Tampa Bay's offensive line is? You have a man lining up under center that is halfway to 90 years old. He's not exactly mobile, and he's always gotten the ball out quick. But when you have absolutely no time to get it out, like he might die on the field this week. Like that Saints pass rush is ferocious.
That's kind
and like
of
I said,
that's kind of harsh.
I make no bones about Tom Brady. I mean, I won't say anything really mean because he has kids, but that's as far as we'll go. Colts Jaguars. Can the Colts win in Jacksonville for the first time since 2014? I say no. JJ?
I agree. I think, Jacksonville can't get any worse, but I think they can get better. And I'm not sure if any of that is going to figure it out. They should have beaten the Houston Texans, and I just think that they just cannot beat. And ultimately, this team will put them out the playoffs last year, basically when they beat them when they came into Jacksonville. And it's just something about that. I do believe in those type of stigmas. Like you haven't won somewhere in like 7-7 so-and-so games, that weighs in your head when you come in. And I think it will.
And what did the Jags win? Two games last year? 3? 2?
Something
2?
like that.
Well, one of them was against the Colts, and it put them out of the playoffs. Go London Jaguars. Will?
Oh, so the Colts have a good team. They got Shaquille Leonard. They got Jonathan Taylor. They're missing Michael Pittman until the next week, and that's definitely going to hurt Matt Ryan.
Pittman's hurt?
He's out for the week.
Alec Pierce, I don't think is playing either.
I have no idea.
Who's Matt Ryan going to throw the ball to?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Sorry.
If the game was in Indy, I would drive down there and try out, but it's in Jacksonville, and I'm not going to Jacksonville for any reason.
Anyway, to continue, I'm a Clemson fan. I'm a firm believer in Trevor Lawrence. I think he has talent. And the Colts are just coming off a really weird tie against the Texans, and they didn't look good. Tying against the Texans is never really good because the Texans are not one of the best teams in the NFL. They're definitely still rebuilding. So give me the Jags.
JB?
Is anyone really going to watch this game with the injuries?
Sure. Oh, wait. Don't demonetize us, Facebook or YouTube. I didn't even read that. I just saw my name, and I wanted to show the comment. Yeah, lots of people are going to watch it. All 5 Jaguars fans, and then the 12 Colts fans.
Maybe we can have another tie. Because, we almost had 2 last week.
Is it any surprise that no one in that division could get a win week 1, and that's because 2 of them couldn't even beat the other?
Exactly. It was pretty bad.
Oh, my gosh. JJ's over there deep frying a Prius.
No, hold on.
He got so mad about the AFC South that he threw his phone on the ground.
No, I'm here.
JB, I can't hear you.
JB, did you mute yourself?
Yeah, no. So it looks like, I don't know. That division's just the worst in football. They make the NFC East look like perennial Super Bowl winners.
Yeah.
But the Colts should win the division with Matt Ryan if they stay healthy.
The question is, what over the hill or disenfranchised, like Who's the Colts quarterback next year? What senior citizen do they reach out to? Like, hey, want to come be the quarterback?
Well, Daniel Jones will be available. He's not over the hill, but he's not very good.
I would maybe trade you Jared Goff for Daniel Jones.
I'd do that in a second.
Sweet, you got a draft pick you want to give us? I can get in touch with my people.
Listen, I would
actually
trade
really do know someone that knows Brad Holmes, and I'm like, don't give me his number. He doesn't want to hear what I have to say.
Listen, I would trade Daniel Jones for,
25 other quarterbacks. Would you take Geno Smith over Daniel Jones?
No.
Oh, you already had him there once. Isn't that who Eli got benched for?
Yes, it was. But I would take Goff. I like Goff. I don't think he's very good, but I think he's better than Daniel Jones.
So who do you have, Dom, then?
The Jags. The trend continues for at least one more year. Plus, I think it's you can't even say revenge tour, but I firmly believe that Jacksonville may end up winning more games than the Lions, which is to say they win 7 and we win 6, which would be a disappointment for us. Okay, Dolphins, Ravens. I know you're looking forward to this, JJ. I know John Shearer is looking forward to this.
JJ
threw his phone. He got so excited.
The Ravens, okay. No, I didn't throw it. I was trying to put it on the charger. I think this game is going to be a game where Ravens make a statement. I think they're going to come out and they're going to be able to win 35-17, as I said on the NFL carousel this past Thursday. I think anytime you put something in front of this team, and particularly this quarterback, and say that this is the formula to slow him down and eventually put him into an existence in the NFL, he tends to overcome that and conquer that. And so I think John, referenced on Thursday, that they're going to throw the quote-unquote blitz and try to make him be a quarterback because we know he's not a quarterback. Last time I checked, that quarterback that you said is not a quarterback.
Who's not a quarterback? Lamar Jackson? He's a quarterback. You froze. See? You tried to call Lamar Jackson a quarterback so many times in one sentence that StreamYard was like, pause. Look at him.
No, but
that is funny. That's just wrong on so many levels.
Should I wait or go?
JJ, are you there?
That would piss me off all the time. I'm talking about my team.
Hey, that's a 4-letter word. You can't say that.
That would.
I don't know. Maybe you can.
No,
you can. I can't.
I say
anytime I say a 4-letter word, I get a text message from Eric like, "Dom, what are you doing?"
I tell you this much: I didn't say any curse word or expletive, but I will say the Ravens are a healthier team this year. They have weapons that are back. J.K. Dobbins is a full participant and is scheduled to start and make his debut this year, as is probably the most important player on this side of the football. It is our cornerback, Marcus Peters, who is scheduled to come back this week against the Dolphins. Now, he's not as fast as Tyreek Hill, but when we've typically played with them before, with Marcus Peters, he has been lined up on Tyreek Hill and has been able to keep up with them. But I got Ravens over Dolphins 35-17. Be close to that first half, and then the Ravens flex their muscles and remind them why that their team is a team that is 7-10 against us in the all-time series.
William?
Oh, I like Tyreek Hill. I like Jalen Waddle. I can't stand Tua. He's overrated. He is just injury-prone.
How is he overrated? Who thinks he's good besides John Shearer?
Can I finish now? Please. I'm still continuing. I've told my friends he's not playing more than 10 years in the NFL. Anyway, I've got the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins.
Attention, please. Tonight's game has been postponed. First pitch tomorrow.
Wow, tonight's game's been postponed, everyone.
You need to check our website for information.
Wow.
Anyway.
The weather gods was like, screw you,
Dom.
Confidential.
Dom.
Dom.
Let me talk, damn it.
That's a 4-letter word. You can't say that.
Oh well. I'm sorry. Anyway, um, I've got the Ravens. I got the Ravens 28 14. Ravens are too. Actually, make that 31-14. Ravens are
Okay.
too good.
A 3-score game. JB?
Ravens are going to win by a couple of points. If you're betting, bet Miami. But it's
Fair
going to be a
enough.
close game.
I have the Ravens as well because Miami. We can breeze right over a bunch of awful games and not even talk about them. Jets, Browns, Patriots, Steelers, the winless Falcons and the winless Rams.
Patriots Steelers could be interesting, actually.
Winless Bengals and the winless Cowboys. Winless Cardinals and the winless Raiders. Winless
That
Texans
could
and the
be a
winless
good game too.
Broncos.
Oh
The
my
only other
gosh,
game worth
those are
talking about is
decent
Monday night.
games.
The Minnesota
Steelers.
I
Vikings
actually kind of
and the
Wait,
Philadelphia
Cowboys
Eagles.
Bengals could
I'm
be.
with Will. I think the Steelers Patriots is a game that you could definitely talk about. I do agree. I think that's a good team.
What's to talk about? Mitch Trubisky and Mac Jones?
It's a decent game.
Okay. If you want to talk about it, we can. I'm not a real host. I'm not going to say no, we can't talk about it. Give me the two of you. Give me your thoughts. I don't have anything to say about either one of those games.
I think. Well, reports are that Mac Jones' back is not as bad as I thought. Steelers, I know they're missing T.J. Watt, but they still got Minka Fitzpatrick and a few other guys.
He had a hell of a game this week.
So I've got the Steelers in a one-score game.
JJ.
Wow.
I actually I got the Patriots squeaking this out by 3 points. I got this as a.
The line's 2.5.
I think that I got this as like a 20-17, 17-14 type
Yeah,
game because
I do too.
both of these teams have very good defenses against guys that either are decent quarterbacks at best and promising but yet tentative about confirming this person as a franchise quarterback in Mac Jones. I think these defenses are well equipped to handle each other. They know each other. The coaches know each other's ins and outs. They know everything about each other. But I ultimately think New England's going to be able to win.
It's coming. JJ, would you say this game comes down to coaching? I think it does.
I do too think it's going to do that. And I think.
So wait. So then who's the better coach? There's only one answer. If you say the wrong one.
No, I'm sitting there.
The only answer is current offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, Matt Patricia.
Oh, jeez.
He's the best coach on the field.
No, because I think
no.
One thing I will say is I will give Bill Belichick a little bit more of a defensive edge in terms of scheming to cut out the other team's best opponent compared to Mike Tomlin right now in this particular matchup. And I think he'll confuse Mitch Trubisky, and Mitch Trubisky will throw an errant throw that ultimately seals the game because it's going to be an interception either on the game, trying to be to win the game drive, or it'd be an interception like a pick six that would be they were up originally, and then he goes down and loses the game 17-14 or 20-17.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that as well.
It's interesting and something I wanted to touch on too. Bill Belichick is known for taking away what you do best, but the question is, what does Pittsburgh even do good right now? It's not run the ball. Najee Harris is hurt.
Najee Harris's foot is not
okay, but he's always good at taking away what you do well on offense. They don't do anything well on offense.
You know what they do well?
They have Pat Frymuth.
The best coach in the NFL who can
miss
win
field
games
goals
with a guy named Mason.
Who?
A duck.
Oh, Mason Rudolph.
I can echo that sentiment totally. That was the best one-season coaching job Mike Tomlin ever did. The fact that he coaxed 8 wins out of those clowns, like round of applause.
Never had a losing season.
Right. He's like a rich man's Jeff Fisher.
You know, so, I mean, that's why I think that they're going to end up winning. Belichick, look at what he did without Brady the first time, and look what he's doing now. He's not going to win anything anymore. I think Tomlin's a better coach.
I do too. Who's the other game, Dom, before our last time?
Vikings-Eagles on Monday night.
I'll go real fast. It's a good game. Two good offenses. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Thielen, you got Devontae Smith, and
Devontae Smith doesn't have a catch.
Let me continue, man. A.J. Brown. So
A.J. Brown has 10.
and I think it's going to come down to defense. I know this Vikings have Harrison Smith and Zadarius Smith and a bunch of others, but I've got to
The
go
guy
with
with
the
the,
Eagles.
what's his name?
I got the Eagles
Danielle.
in a 24-21 game.
The spread
I
is 3,
got the-
so they cover the spread, JJ.
I got the Eagles because I think that they're going to show teams that they're going to be a difficult matchup for you with their new additions at wide receiver. I think the curse of Kirk Cousins on prime time continues, and I can see another interception for a pick 6 from James Bradbury, because he will be tasked with covering Justin Jefferson. And
Slay will be on Jefferson. Well, no, they're not even going to go man on man. They're going to go sides of the field.
I think at this particular moment, James Bradbury is better than Darius Slay, and so Darius Slay will take the second receiver, will be Adam Thielen, and I've got
JB, how do I boot someone? This man just said that James Bradbury is better than Darius Slay.
Wow.
Where's that out of order banner when I need it?
Just mute him.
Hey,
I won't. I love JJ.
I think they're good players, but I think Darius Slay is not the better corner at this juncture. I still think he's a good corner, but I can see James Bradbury jumping one of Kirk Cousins' ill-advised throws, taking it to a pick 6. And I got the Eagles winning 31-28.
Wow,
you both
picked them by 3.
This is a great game, but I said this before the beginning of the year. The Vikings with a new coach are going to be a really good team, because the Vikings were still a good team that won all those games until the last year where they just couldn't win anymore. And you have the same players. They just couldn't win. The Vikings are coming back. The Eagles are still in an upswing, but this is going to be the first loss for the Eagles. The Eagles are going to lose by 6, 34-28.
Okay. I as well have the Eagles, but it's close. I don't think the Vikings are as good either by roster nor I think the fact that they have a new coach and a new scheme hurts them, at least early in the season. I think we might beat them in a couple weeks because they're still trying to get used to that. Plus, per every year, the clock is ticking. It's a when, not an if, that Dalvin Cook gets hurt. He already got hurt in the preseason, so he came into the season not 100%, and he's going to go down. That's just what he does. But I got the Eagles in this one, so we got about 2.5 minutes for the non-sports topic, which is the dumbest thing you did in high school. JJ, what's the dumbest thing you did in high school?
I can't recall. The only things I was too afraid of getting.
Oh my God! Come on! You never did anything dumb in high school. Just tell me one dumb thing.
Well, I guess you could sit there and say I at 16. Okay. But it wasn't high school. It was at a party from a kid from high school.
Okay, it's still high school years. Tell me the story.
I just got my learner's permit, and I should not have been driving. And I grabbed my mother's car, and I crashed it a little bit on somebody else's car. And it was so bad.
You didn't even have a driver's license, and then you wrecked your mom's whip? You're lucky to still be alive. I'd have beat you till my hand hurt.
I made it through the drive-thru to order the Wendy's, but when I got to the code to park, I thought the car was in drive, but it was in reverse. So
you went through a Wendy's drive-thru. Were you naked? Because a former Lions special teams coordinator did that once.
No.
Naked.
No, and I remember when it happened.
What I don't want is to wear pants. Let's go.
I remember when it happened, and I thought, my life is over. She's going to kill me. Like, my mother is going to kill me. And I was dreading. When I tell you, I couldn't think. Because it was at nighttime, and my mom was asleep, but she had to get up for work the next day. So she didn't know at all when I was coming in. So I left her a message, like a note by the table where we eat our food or whatever. And I tried to go to sleep. So I tried to sleep through her to go to work, because she usually gets calmed down when she gets home. all I heard was Joseph, and I knew that
Oh yeah, you got the full government name.
I
You didn't
did.
get first and middle, because if you
He
did,
said
run.
Joseph Nathaniel Wynn Jenkins, but yelled
Oh
it.
no.
I
Oh
I
You
tell
were in
you,
trouble. That was it.
we
no.
only
Oh no,
had 10.
not
We
the
only
Joseph
had 10.
Nathaniel.
We only had 10 stairs, and it took me 20 minutes to walk up them 10 stairs.
Like
Okay.
I said, she beat you till her hand hurt.
She beat me so bad. She took away my privileges to drive a car. I couldn't get my license anytime. It was just so. I couldn't play PlayStation for a good 2 months. It was just
Oh
bad.
no.
I
Will?
never messed her car up. I did it. I got to drive the truck maybe years
Uh,
later. No problem.
Well, it's not as crazy as I don't know if I can say this word. It's not a bad word. It's not a nice word though. I was in school in
You can't. There's a list of words you can't say. You know what they are.
Yeah, it's not a curse word, don't worry. So we were in class
That's
and
a sweet view, JB.
I
That was
forgot
nice.
what I think it was science. And we like something was going on and I was like, blah blah blah, you bastard, like South Park. And my teacher's like, that's it, go to the principal's office right now. And I said it to a student. He's like, that's it, go to the principal's.
So the dumbest thing you did was
You're
call
going
someone
to
a bastard
detention.
and get sent to the principal's office. You're lame, JB. I can't
I
wait to
am
hear this
So-
story.
So before my senior year of football, before the scrimmage, we used to do a 4-way scrimmage every year. The night before, of course, I went to an all-night party, and I missed the scrimmage.
No.
I did not start off my senior year very well in the coach's mind.
How many
Okay.
games did you have to sit out, or how long did you have to sit out until you could play?
Oh, I had to do laps upon laps upon laps upon laps, and I hurt my knee in practice like 3 days later, so it didn't really matter. My season was over, but the missing the scrimmage was so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go because we're already over time. I'll be quick. I won't say dumbest, but let's say this took place in the spring of 1998 in my senior year versus if you did this today. And I'll tell you the end of the story and then the beginning of the story. A friend of mine did the same thing 5 years ago and went to prison for 3 years.
Wow.
So, way back in the spring of 1998, the test was on a Monday, a Sunday night, here's studious Dom trying to study for the AP physics test, and he falls asleep at about 1 a.m., having studied one page of his 100-plus pages of notes. So the next morning, I got up and drove to a payphone down the street from my school and called the school and called in a bomb threat.
Oh, gosh, Tom.
Wow.
But you know what? They rescheduled the AP physics test for the following Monday.
Wow.
That's bad, right?
I can't believe
How did you do on
did
the
that.
test?
I got a 4 out of 5, which got me out of all applicable physics classes at Wayne State. Shout out to Joik Bell.
I've got stories for you guys backstage after this if you guys are able to talk.
We're already past our time. JJ, where can we find you?
On all forms of social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Gauntlet.
Oh, you're back on social media now.
I am back on social media.
Tell us your
now.
Twitter handle. Tell us your Instagram username. Tell us the shows that you're on.
So
You know the drill.
the Twitter handle is, I think, Joe Jenkins 07 with
You don't
E
even
or
know what
O.
your Twitter handle is.
It's one of those two. I forgot it. And then my Instagram is JOE Jenkins 07. At there, I have had that Instagram since I was 22. I'm on a plethora of shows on the Sideline Sports Network and all across all networks in our beautiful social media universe. And I'm a thankful co-host of the Gauntlet with the fellow 4 horsemen and the retired horseman Tyler, Dom, Jay, and that crazy Philadelphia Eagles fan that I call my brother James.
William?
NBA carousel. Sip off occasionally on the Gauntlet and Basket Bros.
Jay Bizzle? You're muted.
JB
Unmute.
underscore the program on Twitter. Currently in Iowa, where it's raining and raining and raining. Watch Confidential Tuesday. We got some prizes to give away. Let me get out of here. Go get some dinner, guys. It was fun. I love coming on this show.
Wait,
You
JB,
guys
how do you get prizes?
gotta go to the
I'll be
tweet from
watching.
Confidential.
I'll be watching.
Watch the tweet from Confidential and get it out there, guys. Great show, Dom. They better watch out, Denzel and James. You may be the new host. They may be out.
I don't want to. I don't want to do this ever again. It was fun. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Let's never do this again.
All right, guys. Have a great night. It was
You
a
too,
pleasure.
JB.
Enjoy. Be safe, guys.
You too, JB.
Thank you, JB. It's about that time. I'm not going to tell y'all where to find me because if you don't know by now, I feel sorry for you. This was the Gauntlet. Thank you for watching.
All right now.
And it should be ending now. Now. Oh, wait. End broadcast. It's like end broadcast.